It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Jamie is a leading Tampa Bay real estate agent and featured on the Wall Street Journal's list of top 100 real estate agents in the nation. Jamie invites you to list your home with him today and learn more at tampabayradio.com. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Maloney.
Welcome to That Business Show, where business becomes show business. I'm here co-hosting today with the lovely Stella Giudicelli. She told me I had to sing it when I was saying it, so I did my very best, even though I'm not a singer.
You did a good job.
Stella, welcome this morning. It's wonderful to have just somebody who actually makes me look good sitting next to me. It just improves things, so thank you very much for being here.
That's nice. Thank you.
Well, I am so excited. In case you haven't recognized, I am not Jamie Maloney. My name is Dr. Ron Eccles, and it is my pleasure today to welcome this incredible guy, and I'm really excited to hear about what he does because my wife and I are both very much into eating healthy and taking care of ourselves. As a business coach, one of the things I'm preaching about all the time is you bring the most important element to your business every single day that impacts your business, and it's you.
What about martial arts? Are you into martial arts? Because I hear he's pretty good with the martial arts, actually.
I was a lot of years growing up. I was the white Bruce Lee.
Yeah, well, he
back in the day.
Well, he's the karate.
Well, I
kid.
thought I was, right.
Well, if you look at if you're watching the stream, we have Ralph Macchio in studio, actually.
So that's the game. Joshi finds celebrities that look like our guests.
Yeah,
so that's the story.
He put up on our last hour. He put up a picture of Forrest Whitaker, and I thought he was talking about me for a second. I'm looking up there, saying, "Okay, yeah, maybe."
No, Dino Cassis is our guest this morning.
Dino, I want to welcome you to the show. I'm really excited to hear about you because we have a lot of things in common. I owned restaurants for 10 years up in the Pennsylvania area, and I made a lot of people, I would say, unhealthy and fat because in Philadelphia, we're known for making people very fat.
Oh,
and
Philly cheese. Yes.
Cheesesteaks. Sold a lot of cheesesteaks, and believe it or not, in 10 years, I ate one cheesesteak, which was amazing. I ate about 400 pizzas probably a year, but one cheesesteak. I own a pizza place called Pizza Peddler. I will never go back in the restaurant business again, so I'm really excited to hear about your company and what you're doing. So let's hear a little bit about it first. So, tell me the name of your company because I just think it's so appropriate.
The name of our company is Naked FitFoods. We are a healthy meal delivery company. We prepare the food fresh each day. We deliver it to your doorstep each evening, fresh.
Now, you were probably back in high school when I had that idea. Believe it or not, because I thought to myself, because I was working out all the time, I owned these restaurants, I said, you know what, I've got the kitchen here. Why don't I just start preparing healthy foods that are prepackaged and delivered to people? I mean, what a great concept, because people were big back then into the low-carb diets. Nowadays, we know that eating a healthy, balanced diet is really important because, I mean, if you're out there and you're listening right now and you're in business, you got to really hear what Dino's going to be talking about because the healthier you eat, the better your business is going to be. I'm just going to flat out say it because I believe with 100% guarantee, if you will feel better and be healthier, you will actually make more money.
Of course. Your body's your temple. So depending on how you feel each morning, that's the amount of energy you're able to put into yourself, into your business. So if you're not feeling right, guess what? Your business is going to have a direct effect of that. So, Stella, thank you for bringing me on the air with you and Dr. Ron. I would like to begin with obesity. Obesity is prevalent now in the United States. A third of all U.S. adults are obese. A third, 1 out of every 3. Roughly 2 out of every 3 adults are overweight. In 1990, only 15% of adults were obese. So we have a major problem here in the States. There's two main factors. One is inactivity. Now, when we say inactivity, you had mentioned it earlier with your previous guest that we're working tremendous amount of hours. Right now, we're all sitting here being inactive. The average full-time working adult is working 47 hours a week. 1 out of every 4 is working over 50 hours a week. You add a half-hour commute to work and a half-hour back to your home, and you've sat in a seat for over 50 hours a week. Now, when you arrive home, what's the first thing you want to do after a long day of work? Sit.
And eat and watch TV, right?
Watch your favorite Netflix show that you've pre-recorded.
Stranger Things.
So, we have a major issue. Now, you just said it's eat. So, poor food choices. That's the second part of the obesity issue. Highly processed, convenient foods. Because the last thing you want to do is think about what you're going to eat. You're just driving home. You're tired. You've had a long day.
Right.
I mean, you've been in battle for X amount of hours for that day. So the first thing is convenience, and you're going to stop at that first fast food restaurant you see on your way home, grab that French fry and Big Mac meal or whatever that fast food meal is, and drive home.
Yeah, well, see, I think the biggest problem, because I grew up throughout that generation, we didn't realize that eating French fries and hamburgers and milkshakes wasn't good for you. And then we come along decades later and we find out that, you know what, we have a real growing problem in our country. As a matter of fact, here's an interesting statistic you didn't bring up yet. You probably were going to get to it, but that the generation today, right now, at my age, will be the first time. In other words, my children will not outlive my generation. They will die most likely before me. I've got 5 kids. That's a scary and alarming statistic.
Right, the life expectancy, right?
It's
is
gone
the
down.
First time that
Yep.
it's regressing.
Right.
Yeah.
Back in the last millennium, here's what we experienced. Doctors focused on eradicating diseases that were communicated from one person to another. That was the major thing that was killing people. In the 21st century, the number one thing that's killing people is lifestyle. Sure. Exactly what you're looking to treat is exactly where the problem's at. People are eating themselves to death because we put the wrong foods in and we're putting way too much of it in. So what kind of foods are you preparing to change this equation?
Well, we have several different
You
meal
looked at Stella. You got me scared there for a minute.
I had a question actually on what you were saying, and I don't know, it's kind of going with what you were just at. How did you, so you have all of those statistics here, and how did you come up with Naked Fit Food? Like, you just happened to read something, or like you guys talked about the problem? Like, how did you come up with your company and your services?
So my ethnicity is Greek. The Mediterranean diet is what I grew up upon. If you read, the Mediterranean diet is one of the healthiest diets and cuisines in the world.
Absolutely.
Acropolis Greek Taverna is one of our sister companies, and we quickly realized in our restaurants that people were coming for our healthier options, for our vegan options, for our paleo options, which is very common in the Mediterranean cuisine. Now, you know, at that time, we didn't realize that this is a paleo appetizer option or a vegan appetizer option, but, you know, this has caught on recently. So we realized that there was a great need for that here in the Tampa Bay area, and that's how we launched Naked Fit Foods.
Yeah, I was just in San Diego. I literally flew in, got in about midnight. And out there, obviously in California, people are much more attuned to eating healthier lifestyles. But in this part of the world, it's not on the East Coast. I don't see it as big, but it's catching on. So how do you see, Naked Fit Foods growing in the next couple of years?
Well, word of mouth, first of all.
No pun intended.
Yes. I haven't seen you in a few weeks, Ron, or you haven't seen me in a month or two, and you realize immediately, you see, wow, Dino, you've lost 15, 20 pounds. You've completely changed physically. What happened to you? Well, Dr. Ron, I started this new healthy meal delivery company, Naked Fit Foods. That's number one. I mean, number one is results. When you see results in anything that you do, that immediately attracts people to you. So that's our biggest way that we've been growing. Obviously, social media.
How long have you been into business for?
Little over 1 year now, 13 months.
Okay.
Great. Oh, listen, we're gonna take a little break right now. When we come back, I probably could spend a day or two talking to you about this because this is near and dear to my heart. I believe Americans are, and most people around the world right now, are just destroying their health simply by what they eat. And you have your finger on the pulse, I believe, of the next $1 trillion business, and you're ahead of the curve. So we've been listening to Dino Katzis. Am I pronouncing that correct?
Yes.
Kastis, sorry. Kastis.
You have a tough job today with them.
Yeah, with Naked Fit Foods and the lovely Stella Giadel.
Giudicelli.
A beautiful French accent with an Italian-sounding name to me.
I've been around months and I still mess that up, so don't worry about it, man.
I'll get it down a couple times. You've been listening to That Business Show, where business becomes show business. We'll be back.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project. In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank, and that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
Teresa Turner is a certified public accountant and the founder of Tax Happens, a boutique-style CPA firm providing small businesses and individuals with hands-on, personalized tax and accounting services. Although we would love to tell you how happy their clients are, we would like you to see for yourself. Tax Happens has 21 Google reviews and a 4.8-star Google rating, 17 Yelp reviews, and a 5-star Yelp rating, 38 Facebook reviews, and a 4.9-star Facebook rating. What sets Tax Happens apart is number 1, upfront pricing, 2, clear deadlines, 3, personally available year-round, and number 4, a willingness to empower clients to do as much or as little as they desire. Visit taxhappens.com for more information.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www.alphacomputing.com.
Did you know the biggest challenge business leaders face today is creating an engaged and productive workforce culture? Bill Meyer Ham Consulting wants to help you solve this challenge. They will help you transform your workforce culture to produce amazing business results. Call Bill Meyer Ham Consulting at 941-201-4650 today or visit BillMeyerHam.com. That's BillMeyerHam.com. Have a conversation.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Good morning. Very heavy traffic into Tampa on 275 off the Howard Franklin Bridge. Crash in the right 2 lanes right near the exit ramp to Kennedy. Also, we've got a crash affecting all directions of Linebaugh and Sheldon. And, of course, we're seeing additional delays now on Waters Avenue in the eastbound direction. Eastbound Hillsborough Avenue slow from Countryway all the way over to the Veterans Expressway. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Uderick Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Lead Safe America. Do you live in a historic home? Are you renovating? Your children could be at risk of lead poisoning. It takes just a microscopic amount of lead dust to poison a child. Learn more at leadsafeamerica.org.
Flood watch in effect for Pasco, Hernando, and Citrus counties through tomorrow. A 70% chance of showers today with a high 85, and tonight cloudy, low 78.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Welcome back to That Business Show, where business becomes show business. My name is Dr. Ron Eccles. I'm sitting in for the incredible Jamie Maloney today, and I have the wonderful pleasure of being sitting next to this beautiful young lady, the lovely Stella Giudicelli. And it only took me 2 times to get that down,
I'm
but I love the name, beautiful French accent, and she is a big fan of Dino Katzis of Naked Fit Foods. And if you're watching the live stream, you're going to see here in just a moment, she's going to show you some incredible foods. In fact, I got to stay away from it because I am so hungry right now. That is making my mouth water.
It's smelling so good.
And you are a personal client, so you
right. So here's how Dino find himself on the radio show is because I am a big fan of Naked Food, and I actually done a lot of the prepare meals. There's several options in Tampa Bay, so I've tried other companies, and I'm just too busy to even go grocery shopping. And what happens is then I just don't eat good food and I put on weight. And I've never really put on weight. And I put on weight 12 pounds, right, 12 pounds in the last year. And a friend of mine kindly for my birthday said, I'm going to buy 2 weeks at Naked Food for you. And I actually had heard about the company, just never tried it. And it took me a while to even get started. And then finally I remember about my gift, and the meals start coming at my place every day, right? And it was just amazing. I mean, every meal I was tasting, I just felt it was a 5-star restaurant. The food was so good. And each time, like at every meal I was texting my friend who gave me the gift. I'm like, oh my God, the food is so good. And at one point I was like, I can't text her like every meal. Like I'm going to annoy her. But it was so good. I even fell in love with the chef. I was like, who is the chef? I got to meet the chef because he's just treating me every day that way. So it's just very exciting when you're looking forward to your meal every day. And then I ended up actually not eating in between the meals because I was just being content and what I was eating, and I lost 6 pounds. And that's actually my theory about why the French are slim. We actually eat, people think that we don't eat big quantities. We actually do. But here's my theory. Our food is not, there's no 0% and all of that. It's just maybe like the Greek. It's a full fat food with butter, cream, and cheese. But the food is so good that it makes us content. Like it entertains the brain, your content when you have your meal. And you don't crave food in between your meals. You're not even interested in chips or ice cream or whatever because it's just, a meal is just such a special moment of the day. And so I think that's why we don't put on weight, is because actually we eat so tasty, and really Naked Food has given that to me. That's why I'm a big fan.
Well, it's really funny you say that because years ago, when I graduated from school over 33 years ago, and what we used to think then about health and about food and stuff, like, well, you didn't eat butter because, that was not good for you, and like high-fat foods weren't good for you. Now we know that if you're eating the right kind of fats,
right,
you can eat. And that's why other cultures for so many centuries, if not eons, have been eating a certain way, and they weren't overweight and they were very healthy. And now we're beginning to relook at, I mean, in the Greek culture, in the Mediterranean diet, olive oil. Well, olive oil is fat, right? But it's a very healthy fat. So if we learn how to put foods together in the right way, and as I'm looking at this food here, we're looking at a lot of single ingredient foods. We got vegetables. We got very simple.
But I don't like veggies. I don't like vegetables. Like, it's just not my thing. But they put veggies.
If we put butter on it, would it be better?
It'd be better, but it wouldn't still be what I would go for. But they put veggies in all of their meals. And the thing is about the veggies is that they are perfectly cooked and they are spiced properly. And it's just like, I actually love them the way you guys do them. So thank you for bringing me, this in my life. It's a big deal.
Okay, now I've got a challenge for you, Dino, because your company now is growing. You're in what areas? You're in Tampa Bay, obviously. We know that.
Yeah, we're in all of Hillsborough, all of Pinellas, South St. Pete, all the way up to Tarpon Springs. and we're getting ready to expand into Sarasota, Bradenton next.
Oh, that's what I wanted to hear. I live down Lakewood Ranch, which is right on the border in Bradenton, right on the border of Sarasota. And this is going to make my wife and I so happy because we are probably the laziest cooks in the whole world. Yet we are
Go for it.
We're committed to health, right? So we, most, what are you going to do for dinner? And I go, I'll have a protein shake. And that's pretty much like an elaborate meal for me. So now you provide me with an opportunity because you provide not only quality, convenience, and value. And I think that's a winning combination. So I can't wait for you guys to expand and get worldwide.
Could you tell us more about your prepared meals, how it works, and then I can show also on the live stream kind of like what you brought us today?
Sure. So you touched on it earlier, Stella. Whole food. France, Greece, Europe, the Mediterranean, all of our meals are not processed meals. Here, what's one of the most popular fast food healthy chains? Subway. Well, if you go into Subway, and you were to Google Subway, you'll see that there was chemicals that they used for tires that they were using for their bread. Their meats are all processed meats, that have tremendous amounts of sodium. We're so we've been, as a culture here in the U.S., we've been instructed to look at calories, but sodium is a very big issue with the amount sodium intake with our culture here. So all of our meals have no added table salt. High fructose corn syrup is another term you need to look for when you're eating meals. All of our meals have no high fructose corn syrup. All of the vegetables are purchased that day and then prepared that day, cooked and delivered. So as you mentioned, Dr. Ron, olive oil. We use olive oil in all of our meals. Our pancakes. It's not an IHOP pancake. It's made from ground almond meal. So there's no flour in that. There's no refined flour in that. And then we use maple syrup or honey or a fresh strawberry capote for the topping.
Okay, now that's not fair to a guy who got off a plane about 5 hours, 6 hours ago, got a few hours of sleep, is up here in the morning, and I am hungry right now. And you just because I haven't eaten pancakes. I gave up pretty much most gluten years ago. And when I was 52, I radically changed my diet because here's one of the things I discovered. And if you're out there listening, please listen carefully. You cannot out-train a bad diet. You just can't do it.
No.
As a matter of fact, if I were to guess, just giving a ballpark guess, when people say to me, "Well, Dr. Ron, what's more important? How much you work out or what you eat?" I said I'd give it about a 60-40 for most people, sometimes even 70-30 of your diet versus exercise. If you will really control what you eat and eat the right things, you'll be so much healthier.
Right. And the great thing is that you have several kind of meals, right? You have paleo, healthy. So you have different kind of meals according to what people can eat. And what I like to say too is that when I'm eating this food, I'm rediscovering food because there's even things that you put in there I even forgot it was on the planet. And as you know, it's because we end up eating always the same thing. So you just give a lot of variety as well. How do we do if we want to? Someone is listening and want to become a client of Naked Food and taste your excellent food?
Well, first I would like to offer anyone listening your first day free. You purchase a week meal plan, we'd like to offer you your first day for free. Just mentioned Stella and that business show. And you can either go onto our website, nakedfitfoods.com, or email us, info@nakedfitfoods.com, and we'd love to get you started immediately.
Jamie Maloney.
I feel guilty that I can't always be there when Mom feels stuck at home. She was always there for us. But now she can't get out, and I'm not always available to take her places. Someone else needs to help her get around. Then I learned about Home Instead. Now Mom can do what she enjoys because her personal caregiver is there, and I can just be a daughter again.
Are you struggling to care for your loved one? We can help. Home Instead Senior Care. To us, it's personal.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
Causing problems there, and eastbound on the Howard Franklin Bridge crashed near the exit ramps to Kennedy. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Uterick, Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Bill Curry Ford.
Bill Curry Ford's biggest sale of the year is going on now. F-150 XLT crew cabs with leather for $28,995. Focuses with automatic transmission for $12,995. Fusions, Escapes fully equipped for $16,995. Only at Bill Curry Ford. See dealer for details.
1250 winds weather center forecasts. Heavy showers moving on shore through the Bay Area into Pinellas, Pasco, and into Hillsborough County. Southern counties will be affected here in just a bit. Manatee, Sarasota will see the rains move onshore. High rain chance, 90%. Heavy showers throughout the morning and afternoon, with the high today in the mid-80s. Mid to upper 70s for the low tonight. Rain chance tomorrow down just a little bit, but still in those mid-80s. Lots of rain and cloud cover. Start to see some sunshine back on Wednesday. Rain chance still high, around 60%. Impact Radio 1250 wins, WHNZ.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 wins, WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Welcome back to That Business Show, where business becomes show business. My name is Dr. Ron Eccles, sitting in for Jamie Maloney today, and I hope you have been with us for the last half hour. We had an exciting guest, but now we're going to shift gears a little bit. We're going away from Naked Fit Foods, and we're going to get to something that's real tangible, something that Donald Trump would love to hear us talking about today. I've got a great guest right now, Sarit Majumdar, and it's 3 syllables, Majumdar, and I got that down really well. Welcome, Sarit. Love having you here. I've heard you speak before, so I'm so excited to hear more about what you do, because this is very encouraging to the average American entrepreneur. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ron.
All right, cool. Now, Donald Trump is running for president right now, and he's talking about manufacturing, bringing jobs back to America. And you're a guy who loves to just say, hey, we've already got manufacturing going on here in America. I mean, we hear about we're in a global economy today, right? So everyone thinks global economy, well, stuff's got to be made elsewhere because they can make it cheaper somewhere else. Now, I had a chance to hear you speak, and I used to believe that until I heard you really open up my mind about what's going on in America, in the world of manufacturing, and what's going on right here. I mean, we happen to be in Tampa Bay broadcasting. I know you might be listening from somewhere else in the world of the country, but right here, right in terra firma, USA, you've actually got some stuff going on that's really exciting. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about your company.
Yeah, I'm the president of ICTC, and we're a contract manufacturer, which is just, if those of you familiar in the area with Jabil, we're a mini Jabil. We build electronic stuff. And what's kind of interesting is if you listen to the media, you think anything being manufactured in America, it's going offshore, we're barely hanging on, and we're going to lose it all eventually. And what I've seen over the last 4 or 5 years is actually a trend of the quality manufacturing jobs increasing in America because of the advent of technology and sensors and the Internet of Things. And so there are a lot of products that the stuff that's gone offshore should be offshore. I mean, we're not going to manufacture shoes and T-shirts and things like that anymore. And so people who clamor for those jobs back, those aren't very good jobs, and they're not coming back.
Yeah, I was listening to Hillary.
I was just going to ask, is the same with the auto industry? I mean, are we going to see that spike back up?
Well, actually, we are, because if you look at the auto industry, what's going on is we're making smart cars now. So they're intelligent cars, and so if you open up your hood, like in the old days, you open up your hood and you saw like about a lot of steel and metal and stuff like that.
American-made stuff.
Now you open up your hood and you see all these little PC boards, and there are all these circuits going on that control every aspect of the car. Well, a lot of that can be manufactured in the States, and definitely the high cost semiconductors and sensors, that technology is a lot of it is U.S. technology.
I think one of the biggest misconceptions today is because we have older generations who believe everything should be made in the USA, should only buy stuff made in the USA. And then we have the younger people today who understand we're in a global economy, right? So the reality of it is, I mean, I'm hearing the political pundits going back and forth, and Donald Trump makes ties in other countries, but yet the person who's criticizing him is wearing clothes made in another country. I'm going, okay, it's okay that we have stuff that's from other countries. We should be over that by now. And now, what can we focus on in the USA? What are we good at? What can we produce that is the right product for the right market that'll be produced the right way here in the United States?
Well, there's a lot we can do. I mean, a lot of the things that are happening in technology is everything is becoming smart, right? So we started off with the smartphone. And if you remember, even in the phone industry, it was dominated by non-U.S. players before Apple jumped in. I mean, you had the Nokia and the Siemens and all these phones that people started with. And then Apple came in and made the smartphone. And that's what you're seeing. You're going to see an age where they're going to put sensors into a basketball so it can track every dribble and every shot and on a court.
I'm waiting for the one that will guide the ball in. It'll improve my game tremendously.
That's right. And so we're seeing that with everything. We're seeing that with lighting. We're LED sensors and that are going into lights. So now in a smart office building, if you have that lighting, it can shut off so that it saves electricity, but the real savings is to actually monitor what's happening under that desk. So maybe you don't even need the space because the sensor is telling you that only an hour a week is somebody even under that light. So that's a huge savings for a business. And those are the kinds of things that data management and data mining that are making, I think, U.S. manufacturing strong for a long time.
No, I thought you said under that desk, and my mind immediately goes, well, why do you want to monitor underneath the desk? Well, kind of confused me there for a second, but I got it now.
Under the lighting.
Right, under the lighting. Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, years ago, I remember going to Europe for the first time and stepping off of an elevator into a hotel hallway, and it was pitch black when the elevator doors opened, and then as I stepped out, the lights went on in the hallway, and I'm like, wow, this is really cool. And they didn't air condition the hallways. The hallways were hot, right? The rooms were air conditioned. And when you got into the room, the air conditioning wasn't turned on yet. It was the summertime. So I looked at that and I got, that's really strange because in America, we were just so used to, we just waste it really. But now we're becoming very conscious about the utilization, especially entrepreneur America. You got to count everything. You got to look at the cost and see where you can actually save money that's wasted.
That's true. And one of the things that happens in the U.S. is our electricity is relatively low cost compared to a lot of countries in the world. So we kind of can afford to waste it, let's say. Yeah. And that's changing. As again, smart technology is changing a lot of things. And we're the leaders today. I mean, the American semiconductor companies are the leaders in creating those chips that are being put into these devices.
All right, so tell us about some of the companies that you're providing products for, and how do they service us? So how are they affecting our lives?
Well, I've got a couple of neat stories. One that you're going to start seeing in almost every mall in the Tampa Bay area. So the days of cutting out coupons is gone, right? I don't even think people get a Sunday paper anymore. But so how do you to get deals when you want to buy things? Well, this one company, it's called Priatech. They're based in St. Pete. They're building these gaming kiosks that are going to go into virtually every mall, at least in the Tampa Bay area and Orlando to start. And what it'll allow you to do is when you walk into, say, International Mall and you want to find you're interested in buying maybe a Cole Haan shoe, you can play a game for it and get a coupon. And then you can take that coupon and immediately go into the store. And it's great because the advertisers love it because there's kind of an immediacy to what they pay for. And obviously the clients like it because they're getting something they really want. They're not thumbing through a newspaper with 500 coupons of things that they're really not interested in to begin with. So that's going to revolutionize the way advertising is done kind of at the source.
Here's something I want to throw in there because you said something that's so profound. They created a kiosk that's gamified.
That's right.
Not just a kiosk you walk over and you press a button and a coupon spits out. People are absolutely captivated by game theory. And when I first started learning about game theory and how it's being applied in a business world, if you're out there and you're a business owner, you need to really get on board with at least a concept of what gamifying is because people love to play games. Every culture on the planet has been playing games throughout their entire history. So gaming is just a way that the brain responds in a way it makes it more exciting to achieve something.
Absolutely. And when you're catering to the younger generation, the millennials, that's the way to reach them.
Yeah, check out the Pokemon. You'll know.
Yeah,
you know,
Pokemon Go.
People walking off cliffs or into traffic trying to find a Pokemon.
I am not one of them, I swear.
I'm not either.
But my 3 boys are all on it. So.
Oh, yeah.
I was totally lying. I'm definitely playing that game.
Okay. All right, so so we got one now where you got kiosks that are smart technology, gamified, that's going to revolutionize the way you actually get coupons inside of malls. What else?
Well, another one goes to that. Why didn't I think of that category? And that's everybody has a sprinkler system in their home, and it delivers water. At least these few days, you don't need it, but it's only used for that. And if you think about it, there's a lot of things you want on your lawn. You need fertilizer. You need maybe mosquito repellent. And up north, people need deer repellent. Well, there's a guy, I guess his nickname is Mosquito Dundee, a guy from New Zealand who's based in Clearwater. And he came up with this concept of using that sprinkler system to generate a very small draw, like for a minute or two, using each zone and sending out repellent. And he uses all natural products. And what is really amazing is with the Zika virus and Zika and it hitting Florida now, sales of his product is going through the roof. Again, it's a proprietary board that he has to have manufactured in the United States. And so there's an example of a product that, he needs manufactured here, that he needs to shorten the timeline of delivery because it's taking off fast. So there's really no kind of offshore competition for something like that.
Let's talk about that for a minute because you brought up a subject when I heard you speak before Tampa Bay business owners about the reasoning why many companies want to keep some of their proprietary products like that manufactured here in the U.S. rather than in a place like China. Why would that be?
Well, in China, there's a joke when you go to China that Chinese R&D stands for receive and duplicate. And it actually is pretty true to this day. And probably 50 years ago, they said that about Japan. But in these countries that start to build up an industrial base usually do so by copying others. And now what's happening is people are getting real savvy to the fact that, hey, if I take this product to China or anywhere in Asia, it's going to get copied, and I'm going to create my own competition. So a lot of them, and we do this, and we advise our customers on this, is we ask them to tell us what's the real key in their technology. And a lot of times it's a board or it's a chip on a board. And we say, okay, let's keep that away from offshore manufacturing. And then maybe other parts, maybe metal parts or plastic parts would come in from offshore. But the final assembly and the real technology is held here domestically. And that, what we call it hybrid manufacturing, is where I think the future is.
I think that's brilliant because people think that, well, if I get it made in China completely, I can save money. But in reality, if somebody rips it off and duplicates it over there, you just lost way more money than you'll ever save by having it assembled or produced here in the U.S.
Absolutely. You'll lose in legal fees. You'll lose in your technology. And there's always something. And it's usually when you look at a product, it's not the entire thing that can be copied. It's one part of it, and that's what you got to keep and maintain and preserve here in the U.S.
Cool. Well, you've been listening to That Business Show, where business becomes show business. We have a special guest today, Sarit Majumdar. And when we come back, we want to talk about something that's going on in Dallas, Texas that I think is going to affect every single person, and you're going to really want to hear it, so make sure you come back in just a moment.
What's up, business rock stars? Are you ready to bring out the CEO in you? Join Julianne Nichols, CEO of Focus on You Strategy, every other Friday on That Business Show. She'll be talking with other chief entrepreneurial officers about how they grew their businesses. Remember, you could join the conversation at Focus on You Strategies Focus Fridays Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Focus Fridays. That's facebook.com/groups/Focus Fridays. Be the CEO of you.
I knew Mom wanted to stay at home. It's the center of her family, her life. But helping Mom stay in her home while managing mine was just too much. Honestly, it wasn't just about me. Mom didn't want me to be her caretaker. She wanted me to be her daughter. I felt so alone until I found out about Home Instead Senior Care. When we met the people at Home Instead, we just knew they were different. The experience was personal. And most importantly, for Mom and me, I get to be her daughter again.
Home Instead Senior Care. To us, it's personal.
How many times have you said to yourself, I wish there was an app for that? Stop wishing and start making the world better. Turn your brilliant idea into a profitable business by using Popcorn apps. Their affordable app design will help get your blue sky idea or proven business to the next level at a fraction of the cost of other developers. They will help you get through all the steps needed to make your thoughts become live. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today. Who doesn't have a smartphone these days? And of course, there's an app for everything. Well, almost everything. That's why the folks at Popcorn Apps started developing mobile applications. They saw people like you with genius ideas, unable to make those thoughts a reality. They develop applications for tens of thousands of dollars less than you'll find anywhere else, and will turn your idea into a reality in a matter of just a few months. Think you're not ready? Think again. They are your one-stop shop for mobile application development. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today.
At Vein 911, we will help you feel great again. Do you have restless legs, night leg cramps, or ankle swelling? Restless legs, cramping, swelling, and tired heavy legs are often symptoms of hidden vein disease. You do not have to have visible bulging veins to have the symptoms of vein disease. The vein care specialists at Vein 911 are uniquely qualified to evaluate and treat your veins. Are you unhappy with your previous vein treatment? Vein 911 succeeds where others fail. Call Vein 911 today at 855-VEIN-911. That's 855-834-6911 to book your free consultation. Vein 911. We will help you feel great again.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project.
From the RP Funding Traffic Network.
Crash on northbound 275 just off the Howard Franklin Bridge near the exit ramps to Kennedy. Northbound 275, also a crash near Sly Avenue north of downtown. Left lane blocked there. Linebaugh and Sheldon, that intersection completely shut down. Westbound drivers diverted at Wilski. Eastbound drivers should use Waters. Southbound Gun Highway also being diverted near Citrus Park. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Eudora. Hillsborough traffic tip line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life.
When Marlon Shirley was 5, he lost his foot. Today, as the world's fastest amputee, he runs the 100 meters in less time than it takes to listen to this. Overcoming. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life.
Flood watch in effect for Pasco, Hernando, and Citrus counties through tomorrow. A 70% chance of showers today with a high 85, and tonight cloudy, low 78.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Welcome to That Business Show, where business becomes show business. My name is Dr. Ron Eckel, sitting in for Jamie Maloney. If you're just joining us right now, we've been talking to this incredible entrepreneur, Sarit Majumdar, and he's told us flat out that manufacturing is not dead in America, but rather on the upswing, and we can expect even greater things. Sarit, thank you so much for coming in. You've told us about a couple great companies right now that your products are being made for. So hit us with another one. We talked about, I introduced right before we went to break, about Dallas, Texas. Something's going on there that we all need to know about because we're heading to the end of the summer right now and heading into school season. Why is that so important in Dallas right now?
Well, it's important because of school safety. So in Dallas, this company named FXS came up with a very unique product, and the product basically captures video of people going past the stop arm of a school bus. Now, you think that wouldn't really happen, but it happens quite a bit. In fact, I saw it happen on Sheldon Road the other day when the school bus was about to stop in front of a major apartment complex. And I think people realize who are on that route every day, there are going to be about 25 kids getting on this bus. If I don't gun it now, on the other side, I'll be stuck here for maybe 5-10 minutes. And so you saw 5, 6, 7 cars. I just watched them go past until somebody finally decided to stop. So what this device does is it mounts cameras on the side of the bus, and it takes live video of people passing the school bus. And then they actually hire housewives who look at that video live. They're deputized, and then they send tickets, and they're able to actually go to court and even for when those tickets are issued. So you have the constitutional right to face your accuser, which sometimes doesn't happen on the stoplight cameras.
With video proof, too.
With video proof. And not many judges will see somebody running a stop arm of a school bus and say, well, I'll let you go. So now what that has actually happened is because they're able to monetize that transaction and charge for a ticket, they've put a lot of other safety features on the bus, including microphones to catch bullying incidents. They have a camera on the back of the bus to see if anybody's following it. They watch the drivers, monitor the drivers' driving habits. So that gets reported back to the school board. So it's kind of a very interesting product that once you hear about it and you say, wait a minute, this doesn't cost any money and it protects my child on the school bus, then every parent is going to want it. And now in the state of Texas, they're implementing this summer. It's going virtually Texas-wide, and it's coming to Florida soon. I wouldn't be surprised if next summer you'll start seeing those on school buses here in Florida.
All those conspiracy theorists are freaking out right now listening to this and going, oh, no, they're coming everywhere. They'll be in the bathrooms next. Right. Wow, that's incredible. And I just want to, by the way, recognize that back in the studio right now is the lovely Stella Giudicelli. Stella, welcome back in. Okay, so, all right, so we now have a couple different areas. Give me a couple more. I'm loving hearing about this technology stuff because it feeds my mind and makes me more creative on where I can be looking at producing new products that can go out and make a lot of money.
I spoke earlier about LED lighting. There's a company in St. Pete by the name of LumaStream, and LED lighting was supposed to be our savior about 5-10 years ago. It was going to save costs, and now if you still look in most places, including this room, you don't see a lot of LED lighting yet. And the problem was that it was supposed to last you for 25 years, 50 years. Now, obviously, there are some in the lighting industry that don't want you to buy such a product, but the truth was it never lasted that long. And the reason it didn't last that long is they had to power it with something, a power supply. So much like your computer might last you, your notebook computer might last you for 10 years, but your power supply is going to go bad. Same thing was happening with LED lighting. This company, LumaStream, they decided to put the power into like a server place, a server room, and then take almost like speaker wire out to the individual LED lights. And that is working, and it's being put into the PDQs here locally, and a lot of restaurant chains and some major auto manufacturers want to put it into their showrooms. And that's the kind of technology that's going to grow. And they're starting to put smart sensors on it. And as I said earlier, you're going to be in an office environment where there are a lot of things that are going to be measured in that environment, and that's because of the technology that exists here today.
Now, this one, I'm going to guess Lumistream is probably more involved in pre-construction, where they're building out the facilities and they can hardwire. When I was reading about this before you came in, I'm going, well, how do I do that in my house? I got to run speaker wires along the ceiling, tack them along. I don't think that's going to work too well.
No, they have had much more success in new builds and new construction for that reason. Retrofitting, it's possible, but it's much more involved.
Cool. So it seems like something that's going to be coming more of an up and coming type of phenomena.
I've got to stop you guys. I just realized I'm sitting in studio with the cast of Scrubs. You've got John McGinley and you've got Ravi Patel, Dr. Patel, and I forget the doctor's name from Scrubs. Hang on a second. He plays Perry Cox, actually. And if you guys are watching the live stream, here's my video proof, and I think that this keeps my streak alive of getting it dead on. What do you think? Dead on.
I got to put on a pair of glasses, and I'm there.
In just case you didn't know, I had to put a wig on.
Dead on. Other than the hair and glasses, but you know.
There you go. So I was actually in San Diego over the weekend, and the other day I was coming out of the hotel, going into the conference room, and some guy's walking past me, and he goes, "Man, you look just like Steve Jobs." I'm like, he's dead, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
He died. He goes, no, without the beard. I said, no, he's still dead.
Well, Perry Cox is alive and well, so I think I've done better than that guy, huh?
You did much better. Now I like that guy better. All right, so we've got a whole bunch of new manufacturing, and here's what I want to do: is we're getting down to the final part of the show. What would you like to encourage entrepreneurs with when it comes to your message?
Well, I think one of the things that's key is, and it's key in the America in general, is the way we can stay ahead in manufacturing is to have good education, strong engineering, so that we develop the technology. And a lot of it is not really hardware anymore. It's software, and it's developing chips that will then go onto hardware eventually. And that's the future for us is you know, they criticize Donald Trump for not making his ties in America. I don't think people want to be making ties in America anymore. No. Those aren't the jobs we really want.
Very expensive ties.
Yeah, those aren't the jobs we want. We want the technology jobs, and that's still very possible.
Well, we want to thank Sarit Majumdar for being our guest today. You've been listening to That Business Show, where business becomes show business.
Thank you.